Do you know that moment when everything seems too silent, as if God were distant? So it is. Maybe that's exactly where the miracle is about to happen. The truth is that heaven often seems silent, just when God is working more intensely. What many interpret as absence, in fact, is a presence in strategic mode. You may be tired, thinking of giving up, thinking that praying makes no difference. But what if I told you that the waiting time is not punishment, but preparation? That this break is only the interval before a new chapter of faith, strength, and victory? You are closer to your miracle than you think, and no, this is not just a beautiful phrase. It is a reality for those who decide to continue trusting, even without understanding everything. In this content, we will walk together with spiritual truths that can rekindle your hope, strengthen your trust, and show that yes, there is purpose in the process. Continue here and you will find out why this moment can be exactly what God is using to lead you to your greatest achievement. It may seem that nothing is happening, but God is acting behind the scenes of your life. While you pray, cry, or just try to continue, He is putting everything in the right place. What today seems confusion, tomorrow will reveal itself as divine care in every detail. The storms you face do not come to destroy you, but to prepare you. It is like a cleaning that messes before organizing. God allows certain struggles because you know how stronger, wiser, ready to receive what He has prepared for you. Sometimes we only see the proof, but God is already seeing the victory. And though you do not realize, He is whispering in your spirit, "Come, I'm here." The strength you feel to get up every day? It is already an answer to the prayer you did at that moment when you thought there was no way out. Think of a seed. It is placed in the dark of the earth, without light, without applause, without audience. But there, in silence, in hiding, she is creating roots. So what seems to stagnation, is actually invisible growth. God is strengthening the basis for the harvest to be abundant. Faith exercises waiting. It's easy to trust when everything is flowing, but the real test is when nothing happens. And yet, you keep trusting, praying, believing. It is in this kind of waiting that the greatest victories are born, because those who learn to wait also learn to win. When God is silent, it is not because He left. It is because He is teaching something precious, to trust even without listening. God's silence is not contempt, it is direction. He uses silence to get us out of the noise of the world and take us to a place of intimacy and inner listening. Remember the Israelites marching around Jericho? 7 days in silence, just obeying, not understanding much. But on the seventh day, to the sound of the scream, the walls fell. God acts and thus works in the hidden and acts surprisingly. The purpose may be hidden in the silence you question so much. Want to hear God more clearly? Silence your thoughts, slow down, take a deep breath. Prayer is not just talking, it is also knowing how to listen. Sometimes the peace you are looking for is not in the answer, but in the presence. And it manifests itself more strongly in silence than in 1,000 words. Trusting when everything goes well is simple. But trust when heaven is closed and God seems silent? This is where true faith lives. Trust reveals itself when you choose to believe, even without seeing, even without understanding. It is a step in the dark, but given hand in hand with God. Jesus, in the face of the accusations, was silent. He knew His Father was in control, even when everything seemed unfair. Sometimes we need to do the same, call the answers, the justifications, and to let God fight for us. As Exodus says, chapter 14 and verse 14, the Lord will fight for you, just be quiet. This being quiet is not passivity, it is active confidence. It is resting in God's time, knowing that He has not lost control of the story. Your struggle may seem great, but whoever is on your side is bigger. And He doesn't have to scream to win, He acts even in silence. To wait is not to waste time, is to be trained by God in silence. Joseph was sold, wronged, arrested. But in each phase, the Lord was shaping his character. Before being promoted, it was proved. This process generated not only maturity, but a force he would never have gained in comfort. Each day of waiting is like a brick in the construction of its purpose. God is establishing the foundations, taking care of the details, aligning the opportunities. You may not see it now, but this phase is generating in you patience, hope, and spiritual resistance. All of this has eternal value. The next time you feel it is still, remember that even Chinese bamboo spends years without growing visibly, and then fires at height. Your journey also has this time of root. Growth happens first inside where no one sees, then flourishing where everyone will see the victory. There are days when we wake up without the strength to get out of bed and everything is fine. Because the force that supports your life is not just about you. Philippians chapter 4 and verse 13 says, "I can all things in the one who strengthens me." It's not about what you can do, it's about who's with you. Daniel was thrown into the lion's pit, and the 3 young people in the burning furnace. Humanly it was the end. But God was there, present, supporting, protecting. What seemed tragedy became a testimony. The same God who has been with them is with you right now in this trial. When you feel you can't take it anymore, breathe and remember you don't have to win yourself. Pray, ask for help, vent with God. He renews, raises, and even carries on his lap if necessary. Your victory will not come from your own ability, but from the God who never fails. In the midst of the rush of life, Jesus makes an invitation that seems simple, but it is deep. "Come to me all who are tired and overloaded, and I will give them rest." Matthew chapter 11 and verses 28 to 30. This rest is not physical as only rest for soul, to mind, to the restless heart. He does not promise a life without problems, but ensures that the burden will be light. Do you know why? Because he walks with you, helps you carry the weight. The peace he gives does not depend on the circumstances, but on his presence. It is the kind of relief that the world cannot offer. When all weigh, remember you have divine permission to rest. It is not weakness, it is wisdom. Take time with God, walk a walk, read a psalm, take a deep breath. This rest can be what you miss for you to see more clearly the purpose of this phase. It may seem that it is taking, but God's promises do not expire. Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse 11 remind us, "I know the plans I have for you. Plans of peace, not evil, to give them a future and hope." If God spoke, he will fulfill. Neither time nor circumstances change it. You may be facing silent battles that no one sees, but God sees everything. He knows every tear, every prayer made in the room, every effort you have made. Not give up. All of this is part of a greater purpose, even if it now seems confusing. Do you know what our faith strengthens? Knowing that God is not a man to lie. He fulfills what he promises even if it takes time. Sometimes the apparent delay is just protection. His hope is not in quick results, but in the faithfulness of a God who acts at the right time. Sometimes all you have is faith. Believe me, that's a lot. Faith is that invisible thread that connects you to God even when your eyes do not see. To have faith is to continue walking in the dark, knowing that at any moment the light can light. Hope is the fuel of the soul. It is she who whispers it will pass. Even when fear tries to scream louder, hope holds his hand and says trust. God transforms our most difficult struggles into the most beautiful testimonies. He is cutting you to something bigger. Trusting is a challenge, especially when everything seems to go wrong. But it is in this confidence that miracles begin to happen. When you deliver control and say, "Your will be done, Lord," you make room for him to act with freedom and power. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. It may seem like no one understands what you are going through, but God sees every detail and is more present than you think. The walk can be long and sometimes lonely, but it is by your side at each step. When the fight seems too big, think of everything you have already surpassed here. Each obstacle, every challenge was a victory of faith, an opportunity for growth. Share this message with whom you know you need hope and encouragement, as you are not the only person to go through this process. And remember, God has a good plan for your life. His promises are faithful, and victory is certain for those who continue to trust. Believe it and don't give up now. Now that you have gone through this journey of reflection and faith, what will you do with everything you have learned? The wait can be difficult, but even in the most difficult times, there is something powerful you can do. 1. Practice silence. Take a daily time to be silent, without distractions. Use this moment to pray and hear the voice of God, without haste or pressures. This will strengthen your trust and help you realize the little answers he is giving you. 2. Make a list of thanks. Even in the trial times, write down at least 3 things you can thank. This helps to cultivate hope and reminds you of God's promises, helping you to see the positive side of the situation. 3. Pray daily. If you don't have the habit yet, start with 5 minutes of prayer every day. Talk to God, deliver your concerns and ask your guidance. God listens to our prayers and acts in His time. Find support and share with someone trusted what you are living. Sometimes the simple act of dividing the weight brings a sense of relief. Together you can lean on prayer and grow in faith. 5. Trust in God's days. If you feel that you are in a period of waiting, remember God is working. Keep doing what is right, trusting that He is preparing something bigger for you. Do not hurry, but allow yourself to grow on the journey. God has a good plan for your life, and He won't leave you on the road. All you need is to keep believing, waiting, and trusting your faithfulness. What seems a long way, in fact, is the preparation for victory. So I invite you to reflect what you can do today to continue on the path of faith, hope, and trust. If you are ready to embrace what God has prepared, subscribe to the channel and enable notifications to more content like this. We are together on this journey, and your victory is right.